Good evening or afternoon, and welcome to the Employee Baltimore Show. I'm your host, Marvin McKinstry Jr. of the Mayor's Office of Employment Development, the Anchor Division, the Employer Services Division, where we do that work of getting people connected to employment opportunities. The first thing I need you to do is the same thing I'm doing right now. Get on your device and share this broadcast because we have an amazing employer that's been doing great work in the city of Baltimore with us today. That and the person of Sherwin Williams, you know them for paint, but they've done amazing work down through the years. Even when I was at the Yo Center, we had them over there as a part of our programming, where we were getting people certifications. And listen, I don't want y'all to think painting is a lost art or lost cause. Painting is still one of the thriving industries in the building trades, where a painter that really has a skill to be able to do that can still make great money. But they are far beyond just painters because they actually make and manufacture the paint. So we're going to be talking to them today. And we also going to be kicking it with my little bro, my main man over at the Westside Youth Opportunity Center. Been doing this thing over there for a little while now. My man Dwayne Williams Jr. is going to be with us, but I got to talk about it. Y'all see me clad in my purple I Need Ravens Nation. If you love these birds like I love these birds, I need you to get in the chat and put something in there, put some hearts up or something, because they doing their thing. We 8-3. Me and my brother, we was on the Ravens sideline, right about the 20-yard line, and had tickets 2 rows from the sideline, y'all. We was prime real estate on Sunday night, watching us handle them Browns. I know, it wasn't a pretty win. Lamar with his 4 interceptions and all that sort of thing. But trust me, somebody that was there, the game was never not in hand. It was never scary. It wasn't even one of those regular little heart attack games that our Ravens be giving us. It was a dominant performance that didn't look as dominant because we had those 4 interceptions. But look, man, 8-3 atop the AFC. They talking about it's a whole bunch of teams they think better than us because the way we've been doing it. But at the end of the day, we still in first place. First place, Ravens Nation. So I need y'all to raise up. I need somebody to get in the chat and just put Ravens Nation or something in there. All right, y'all. We're going to start this conversation off today. We have something major that's going to be taking place at the Westside Youth Opportunity Center, and it's only right that I bring my man on here with me. Y'all know him. He's the man with the red hat. Yesterday, the brother showed up at the job fair. He had a red fedora. I mean, what is it called? A cardinal red fedora on. The boy be putting it together. I'm talking about the one and only, the BSR, Business Service Representative, holding it down at the Westside Youth Opportunity Center, Mr. Dwayne Williams Jr. Dwayne, what's up, man?
I was on mute there. What's up, everybody?
Did you hit the share button, brother? Because you got 20 million followers. So I need you to hit the share button and get about 30 million people on here so that we can make sure we're putting this good information out.
I was over here hitting the share button while you were talking.
My guy.
I was hitting it right. Man, it's a beautiful day. How you feeling, Marv?
Man, I'm feeling great, man. You know, you've been at the Westside Youth Opportunity Center for a while. Literally filled in my seat, but definitely wearing your own shoes. And we got something major that's happening on December the 17th. And I thought it only right to bring you on here that we talk about it. But before we go to that, since you've been there, you've been really bringing businesses into the building. Talk to us a little bit about some of the things you've already done.
Yeah, I mean, man, it's been a pleasure to backfill your seat. You've done some work prior to me coming. And so what I wanted to do is just take what you've already done and take it to the next level. And so one of the things that I think is keen for us in this business market and business world is to make sure that we are developing relationships with businesses for a world that is moving to something new. We appreciate every business that we do partnership with. However, because of the clientele that we serve, we also want to be a place that has the resources for the clientele that we are serving. And so one of our biggest goals has been to make sure that we partner with businesses that will really cater to the clientele that we have in and around the Yo West Side Opportunity Center. And so we do that by going out, setting up meetings, talking to people, tell them what we got going on, tell them how it's going, tell them what we're trying to do, and bringing them into a partnership and a connective partnership where we're able to render and give them what they need for the betterment of their business.
Man, look, it can't be said no better than that, man. And partnering with these businesses, you get them on the campus. Talk to us about some of the businesses that you've already had come and show up, and offer opportunities to our young people.
Yeah, we have a lot of businesses that are looking for employees, like a lot around this Baltimore region. And so one of the things that I realized was the virtual space is really nice. I love the virtual space. It is a beautiful space to operate in. However, I also love this in-person space. And oftentimes with the clientele that we serve, many of them love the fact that they can tangibly put their hands onto something. And so, because they can tangibly put their hands onto something, virtual is nice, but it was even better when we could open back up and get back into the building to have a space where people could come and meet employers who were um, looking for employees and be able to sit down with them, hear their heart, do an interview, really nail the job, really go after the job. And so I think that it's a beautiful thing to have them in. We've had industries such as the security industry, such as manufacturing industry. We get ready to come up on some of the hospitality industry, restaurant industry, as well as the hospital industry. And so I'm so grateful that we are able to have all of this stuff come and be a part uh, and really get us going in the right direction.
Man, that's awesome, awesome. So you just mentioned that it plugged it, so we're gonna go ahead and jump right to it. One of our long-term partnerships that we've had is with the University of Maryland Medical Center, between the medical center and the Midtown campus, even in some of the clinics, but primarily the medical center and the Midtown campus. Down through the years, we've done a lot of great work of getting our young people connected to them. Our partners, Lisa Rawlins and Mike at the Community Engagement Center, and Michael Franklin, the Community Engagement Manager, have been key parts of that. Talk to us about this upcoming event, man, and what your expectations are, what you hoping to see accomplished.
Yeah, University of Maryland is probably one of our greatest and biggest partners that we partner with, outside of so many other partners that we partner with. They're very diligent in being in the community overall, in and around the center. They have so many different things and so many different resources that people can tap into in and around the Your West Side Center and then West Baltimore, period. And so, one of the things that I love about them is that when they show up, they mean business. They come and they are ready to do business and help on every aspect that they can. So let's just say you're an individual who comes and you don't necessarily quite meet the criteria of what they may be looking for at that moment. They will not drop you. They have resources set up around how to prepare you so that the next time around you can better land into the position that you need to land into. So I think it's a beautiful thing. I'm expecting for people to come out. I'm expecting for our partner to assist with landing individuals' employment. I'm expecting our partner to really help guide a lot of individuals into that employment space if that is what you want. If that's what you really desire and if that's what you really want to be a part of.
Man, listen, I look. I Mike has been in the email all morning. They are bringing the CMAs. They looking to fill the positions for certified medical assistants. all of the entry level position, floor techs, housekeeping, all of the food service jobs, and they often, since COVID, their wage has actually gone up. So we talking about easily having more than 100 available positions as a part of this event. And the part I want you to talk about next is the reality that we're going to have the actual recruiters. It's not going to be us, but we're going to have the actual recruiters who bump you in the process to the hiring managers on site to talk to the applicants that are going to be coming out on that day. Talk to us about how important it is that when people come, they know that they're dealing with the people that gets them in the mix to be hired or become employed with University of Maryland.
Yeah, I think that's a great conversation. If I had to start anywhere, I would start by saying, since you're going to be dealing with individuals that can actually land you into the space, I think it's important that you come representing yourself at the best avenue that you can, being prepared physically. And what I mean by physically, I mean just appearance, making sure that your appearance is up to par, making sure that you speak with a clear pronunciation and understanding of what you're trying to accomplish, and also just being ready with a resume that sells who you are. I mean, you're going to have to talk through that, but the reality of it is that just coming prepared on those three fronts to make sure that that is already a selling point. That even if there is something that you may not be too aware of, that those three selling points: a resume, your appearance, and being able to articulate yourself is definitely going to be key for employers who are looking for employees.
Outside of this event, man, what can young people expect when they come to the Westside Youth Opportunity Center?
You know, I love that question because I believe we're growing. We're going through some transitional phases, which is not going to kill us. It's going to be an amazing thing. Through these transitions, I believe you're going to be able to find. We have some talented people there. We have some people who have just stepped into different roles. The GED program is moving fastly. I'm seeing people come in daily and sit and get their GED. So when you come to our center, you're going to be able to expect a high level of turnaround. And one thing about us, this is for certain, this is for sure. We have employment for you. It's going to be a matter of if you're ready. And so when you come in, you're going to be able to get resources, wraparound services that will help you not just in employment, but also in your everyday life. And so if you're an individual between the ages of 18 to 24, and you saying to yourself, I'm ready to get off the couch, I'm ready to do something with my life, I'm ready to get up and make a difference in my own self first, forget my community for right now, in my own self first, and then my community later. This is that opportunity. I want to get up. I don't want to be considered a failure, a letdown, a disappointment, but I want to get up and do what I know is inside of me to do. I want to get up and be everything that I want to be, everything that I desire to be. I believe that this is the place that you need to be. 1510 West Lafayette Avenue in West Baltimore. That's the place you need to be. Now, there's going to be some steps for you to come into and join us and be a part of us. But however, those steps are very minimal. I want you to just think about getting up off the couch and making a difference within yourself.
Now, one of the things that I can't leave off the table, man, is we have had the privilege of doing this great. This platform isn't strictly for young people. That particular center is for young people, but we have centers all around the city that serve anybody 18 and over. But getting back to my question to you, Dwayne, you're one of the brothers that I've had the privilege of walking the streets of Baltimore, and even as I'm honored to be your supervisor, whenever there's an outreach opportunity, you are the brother that rushed to the front of the line to make sure that you are available in the community for young people. Talk to the corresponding, because I've been called text several times this week about coming on the radio to talk about the crime that's happening in our city, and I've declined because I'm past talking. We're past talking. We're at a place now where it's about the action. Talk about how the work that you're doing and that we're doing in MOED is bridging the gap for those who no longer want to be a part of that element or that community of crime and violence that's happening in Baltimore.
I think that's an important focus. If we go A, B, C, D, E, F, G, one of the things that we realize about A has to be an attitude that a young person wants to make a change. Now, here's how we connect that bridge. When you find somebody that is passionately wanting to make a change in their life, a young adult. I don't want to call them youth because they're young adults, right? A young adult that is willing to make that change in their life. The greatest thing that you can do in seats like we have, Marvin, and seats like my other brothers and sisters around the MEOD family have, is to be a big voice in their ear. And one of the things that I think is extremely imperative for us to consider in this is that an individual being able to make money in the most legitimate form possible takes away the avenue of them wanting to make money in the most illegitimate form possible. And so, if that is true, what happens is that you give them a chance to be able to develop something positive in their life that keeps them not all the time, but a good vast majority of time keeps them away from negative components that might get them entangled up in certain things that could lead to possibly crime. And so, one of the things that I realize is that we have the extreme pleasure with what we do in helping bridge the gap between that person that is trying to evolve and become versus that person staying stagnant in a certain place because they cannot see their future. They don't have the necessary components in their mind to necessarily connect the dots to see where they are. And so this is the greatest thing that we have, because when they sit in front of us, we have the opportunity to not sell what we can do, but sell what they can do inside of their own life. And so I think that is an amazing gift and task. And sometimes, let's really be honest, uh, you get just a few that you know we have to tug on a little harder, right? But the reality of it is we have the chance to really direct and guide individuals out of a life that is not necessarily the most healthiest for them.
Yeah, we've known for a long time, man, that much of what we see in the sense of what they consider to be Baltimore crime is really a quality of life issue. And one of the things that I like about our mayor is he set a focus, although we still have to do what we got to do to deter the crime directly. He set a focus on making sure that we are able to fix a lot of the economic injustices in our city. And I just wanted to throw that at you as we get ready to wrap this portion of our programming up this afternoon. When you hear those terms as a person who is a pastor, person who is a direct service provider, bringing these jobs and other opportunities as a personal philanthropist, you sow your personal money, as a youth leader who goes into schools and speaks and all those kinds of things, and you've seen the disadvantages that many Baltimore City communities have directly. When you hear that term economic justice and know that this agency that you're a part of has a focus on fixing the economic injustices, what does that mean to you?
Whew, that's that's a that's a that's a happy place. Listen, I was just thinking of that movie. What's that movie? Happy Feet or
uh-huh.
something? That little pig, man. This is Happy Feet, and we can take that so many different ways, Marvin, because we got many different titles. When we say Happy Feet, we go to church and think it and take it as a dance. When we say Happy Feet on the professional side, we get excited because we also know what that means for the future of this employment development space, right? That means wages begin to come up. That means we begin to see transformation happen in the lives of people, right? That means we get a chance to see communities change, right? We get a chance to see the single mother, release the struggling aspect, because now she can fight because she has the appropriate employment to help her succeed. Single fathers, we see men who once upon a time, young men who once upon a time looked at, drugs and selling drugs as a way of life, now saying, you know what, hold up, I can make a wage, and if I can make a wage, I can make a wage and possibly work here for a couple of years and then develop my own business, right? So we're talking about, economical justice. We're talking about it opens up the doors to so many different things that allows people to become, going back to what I said earlier, to allow people to become what they need to become in the best form and in the best way possible. With the rise of entrepreneurship, I believe that people, they're going to still need employment, right? Because employment allows you to kind of build that avenue up before you walk away and say, hey, I'm in, entrepreneurship. And so I believe those avenues help people to learn some level of discipline in employment before they, branch out on their own. So this is going to be, happy feet. This is going to be something amazing for us to really, 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 really embrace and be a part of.
I got one more thing for you, man. Every day when I drove into the Westside Youth Opportunity Center, being a Baltimore City resident myself, I ain't one of those that got my come up and ran, right? Every day when I drove in, it was real to drive past what was gentrification, to drive through what was open air drug markets, to drive through and see makeshift memorials for somebody that was murdered the day or a few days prior. It was real to ride through and to just see physically all of the disadvantages. But being who I was, every time I got in there, I knew it was my turn to go ahead and hit back. I'm going to ask you, give me one word, and then you can elaborate on that word. Give me one word that jumps in your spirit when you move it or when you driving into that environment, knowing that you're going to be in a fight another day. Give me one word and then tell me why is that word.
Potential.
Woo! Yes, sir.
Potential. That's the most profound word. There's a lot of words I could say, but potential is the biggest one at the list because I think you said it earlier. We have a mayor that is a forward thinker, and he's forwardly moving the city in the right direction. And hear me, I'll give every mayor before him as well credit as well, because I believe that they all have the great idea to move this city in the right direction. So I use potential because here's what they probably won't say, but I will say is that it's potential because the individuals like you and I are there. And this is to every organization in the city of Baltimore. We should always be looking at our city as potential, as long as God allows you to get up and be Marvin McKinstry, be Dwayne Williams Jr., be Katanya Lester, be whoever you are. There is potential because you have the right intentions, which means that you're going to spill that over into somebody else. And I believe potential is such the biggest word, because even when I look at the city as a whole, and I look at West Baltimore, the East Baltimore, to downtown, to the Harbor East, I'm a native. I see what it used to be and now what it is. The biggest word is potential. Baltimore has the potential to be a place where poverty is not at the forefront of our communities. Baltimore has the potential to be a place where crime is not at the forefront of our communities. Marvin, I'll say this last thing and then I'll shut up. It is so funny, Marv, that whenever someone passes away, you always hear these statements. You always hear, and this is probably more like a challenge. You always hear people say, "Oh, I knew them," or "I knew the sister of them," or "I knew the brother of them," or "I knew the father of them," or "I knew, yeah, that was my man's in them." And so the challenge becomes, what are we doing with our potential to infect somebody so that crime decreases, so that people really feel like they have a chance to be who they need to be? And what are we doing with our influence? That's the word. What are we doing with our influence so that we can help our city become better in the employment world, in the crime world, in our communities, with our children? I think that's what we ought to examine. I think that's what we ought to take a moment to recognize and take a moment to really ponder on and say, our city has the potential to be a better place, a better world, a better environment, lead this country in so many different forms and formalities. But what are you doing with your influence? And I think that's what we got to deal with. Deal with our influence.
Man, thank you. Tell the people where they can find you, how they can find you, how they can contact you. And listen, I want all of it. I want social media. I want your email that we got up on the screen, the phone number to the center, the location of the center. I need all that. Talk to me.
Yeah, listen, you guys, first, I'll give you professionally, you can contact me right there. They left the junior out, so shout out to the producer in the background. Uh, little shade there. You can contact me professionally right here at DJ Williams at oedworks.com. Jot that down. I want you to jot that down. If you got an 18 to 24-year-old that is looking for employment and they live in the city, they're a city resident, I want you to go ahead and text them that, put that in their phone. I don't care how you got DM it to them. Say, hit this man up for a job. And I promise you, when they email me, I'll reach back out to them. Secondly, you can reach me on all social media platforms. Well, you can reach me on IG because I have no more room on Facebook. I'm gonna have to create a like page on Facebook, but IG, you can reach me at D Williams _ Junior. And there you're gonna see me talk about stuff like this. You're gonna see work stuff. You're gonna see God stuff. You're gonna see business stuff. You're gonna see a lot of different stuff that I got going on. And just a side note, even in that, there is a virtual mentorship program that I have out. You can also reach me on my website at dwjenterprises.com. dwjenterprises.com. That's how you can reach me. I can't wait to hear from you, whether it's professional, business, or personal. Please reach out. Would gladly love to hear from you.
And the number to the Westside Youth Opportunity Center is 410-545-6953. You can call down there to schedule an appointment to be able to come in. Listen, y'all are going to see this amazing flyer that I think may have been finished yesterday or is being finished today. That's going to go up on all of our social media. We need to make sure that you get all your 18 to 24-year-old Baltimore City residents involved in this upcoming job fair with University of Maryland, one of our anchor partners. I believe Amazon is going to pop in on the site that day. Amazon is one of our really, really good partners, and they'll show up and throw up a table. They don't care if it's healthcare, whatever. They say if people going to be there looking for work, we want to be where they are. Dwayne, I want to thank you, man, for your contribution to the great work that's happening in Baltimore City, in our agency and outside of our agency. I want to say to you, man, stay strong, continue to be encouraged, continue to do the good work, and thank you for being a part of our conversation today on the Employee Baltimore show, man. I'm really proud of all the things that you're accomplishing, and I look forward to continuing to work with you in the near future.
Let's go, Baltimore. Thank you, Marvin.
All right, man. So, listen, y'all, we have a very unique situation in the Mayor's Office of Employment Development where literally we have more businesses than we have job seekers. Yesterday, my entire team converged on the Employment Connection Center, which is our South Baltimore location at 1410 West Bush Street, 1410 West Bush Street. And my guy over there, Bill Collins, Darrell Falls, myself, we got together and we put about 8 employers in the room. And listen, y'all, there was an abundance of jobs. Now, we had about 40 people show up, right? But think about it. 8 employers, 40 people. We literally have more employers than we have people to work with. And one of the amazing employers in Baltimore, one of the things I love about them is they don't wear everything they do on their sleeve because it's genuine. But there's a lot you don't know about Sherwin Williams. Sherwin Williams used to come into our Youth Opportunity Center annually, and they would get lead abatement and painting certification for our young people who would sign up, and they would come in, they would take the training, and then they would paint and transform and beautify our center every year. Mr. Leif, we called him, would come, and he would come and bring the curriculum, and they would provide lunch. If you're familiar with Jay's Deli, they had Jay's Deli for the young people every day. It was just an amazing thing. Then we're now looking at a space where most Baltimore employers that have worked with us have been moving beyond the $15 an hour minimum wage. Sherwin Williams has never had an issue with its minimum wage, ever. And I've worked with Sherwin Williams for over 20 years as a person who does this work of bringing employment to people in the city of Baltimore. Well, yesterday when I was at the Employment Connection Center, I made a new friend, and she agreed to come on here, even though I tried to warn her that, I'm a little fun, silly, goofy when I'm on here because we want to get people connected to employment, but we do it in a lighthearted manner. And she's here with us today to talk about all of the great things and the great opportunities that Sherwin Williams has for Baltimore City residents right now. Courtney, how's it going?
Afternoon. Thanks so much for having me.
And now help me with your last name. Is it Sikora or Sikora?
Sikora.
Courtney Sikora. So yeah.
Perfect.
Courtney, it was a pleasure meeting you guys yesterday. You came over there. You said you had an amazing time. You met some people. And if I'm not mistaken, you actually kind of made some offers on the spot.
So we did about 6 or 7 interviews, and we've actually made 2 offers today. We had some individuals come on site and take a tour, which we think is always an important part, just to make sure everyone gets to see where they might be working and get a chance to look at the environment in their own eyes.
So this, and it's important to even start off that way because we're going to do some more background on Sherwin Williams and all that. But y'all listen, for my viewing audience, y'all get the viewers up. Y'all make sure the people are on here because this employer, Courtney, just said that literally they met people yesterday who got offers today. They bringing more people in from yesterday to see where they're going to be working and what opportunities are there because they intend to hire.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're ready. We've got more openings. So please come and visit our website.
Listen, am I back? Can y'all hear me? I had a little wait. Am I good now? Can you hear me, Courtney?
Yep, I can hear you now.
All right. I was lost there for a minute, but they are actually hiring. So talk to us a little bit about Sherwin Williams. Give us a little bit of the company information, and then we're going to talk about the opportunities that you guys are recruiting for right now.
Yeah, so it still surprises me. I've been here in Baltimore about 4 years, and a lot of people don't realize we have a manufacturing facility. So we're over on the west side here on Hollands Ferry Road. We manufacture, fill, and distribute paint to the northeast area of the country. We've got about 125 employees right now, and we're looking obviously to add a couple more to the team. So the company itself has been around for about 155 years. So pretty stable. We're excited to keep staying in the area over here and keep getting our neighbors here to work.
Grandson. So that's important because this is a staple institution in Baltimore. Sherwin Williams has been around for a really, really long time, doing this great work. You said you guys have the manufacturing facility, which I was aware of. What positions are you looking to fill right now?
Our immediate openings are our temporary production operators. So we usually are looking for some assistance in making sure that we can meet all of our service demands, help with production. And typically these positions are the ones that we're going to look at when we do have full-time openings to help grow our team as they've gotten familiar with the work, the culture, and just the expectations, and we can get them onto the team permanently.
So do most of those positions turn into full-time employment?
It's not guaranteed. We're looking at how well you're performing and making sure it's a right fit for the employee and the company to continue that relationship. But we usually on average have at least 3 or 4 positions a year that somebody ends up getting to go from temporary to full time.
That's awesome. So you guys talk to me about the environment out there. Because I tell people all the time, yeah, it's about the money, but what we've learned is a toxic culture. You can't pay people enough to be in a toxic culture. And you guys have never really had that high attrition rate that some other businesses like yours have, where it seems like they just can't keep people. And that's normally attributed to having a great culture, a great place. Y'all are looking normally because of growth, not because of loss. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, so we're very fortunate. Our team is a great team. We've got about an average length of service right now at about 13 years. So these employees are coming here. We're not really leaving that often. Although the group that's kind of leaving right now is the group that's eligible to retire, which is phenomenal for me. I can't say much more about a company where these employees can come in, retire, be comfortable, be ready to make that jump. So we try to have fun at work. We spend a lot of time here. If we talked yesterday at all, I explained our shifts are sometimes 12-hour shifts. One side of the business, we work on a continuous schedule. So we get to know each other well. We try to do things that touch on safety, talk about different things in our personal life, and as a company, talking more about diversity and inclusion. And we try and stay in touch with the community. So doing activities like right now, we've got a holiday food drive going on to help out the local community here right in the Westport, Cherry Hill areas for the holiday season. So it's about all those things, not just pay. To your point, Marvin, we try and make sure we obviously, to your point, out pay the market as much as we can and stay ahead of that. But we want to make sure that you're here, that you're comfortable, you can be your best self. And if you've gone on our website, you can show your colors.
Since you plugged it, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about it now because that is rather important. And like I said, I have worked with you guys for years. One of the issues that we've never had is a person complaining about the starting wages. Last I checked, and this was maybe 4 or 5 years ago, you guys were bringing entry level people in at around 16, 17 bucks an hour. So I can only imagine what you guys may be doing now. Talk about what it is to be able, in the role of an HR person, to know you working for a company that's not lowballing, but actually offering opportunities to people with what because we don't ask for a living wage anymore. We tell companies we want them to have a family sustainable wage because often that one job may be the breadwinner for the entire household.
Yeah. Yeah. So it takes one less worry or concern off my plate, right? When I'm trying to encourage people to apply for our positions and knowing that we're still going to do that analysis every year and make sure that we're in a good spot, but that I don't have to have that conversation, that we can focus more on what makes somebody comfortable at work and individually are we meeting their other needs. To your point right now, our temp operator positions, the starting wage is $18.54. Our full-time positions start mostly at $23.97. So that part there, we're happy, we're confident that we're definitely meeting and exceeding the wages in our area. And we're, again, focusing on what else we can do to meet an employee's needs.
Okay, Katanya, I need you to solo me in on the screen. Okay? Solo me in on the screen. $18.54 an hour to go into a position that, if you do well, will create an opportunity for you to have a position paying $23 an hour. This one right here is a no-brainer, guys. It's a no-brainer. Sherwin Williams, and you don't hear me say this about everybody, you'll hear me say it when it's true, has never lowballed on wages, but they're competitively paying what mail letter carriers are making at the post office right now. With some of our other, what we consider to be high-end opportunities, that's about $37,000 a year to come into attempt to hire type of position. I need y'all to stop playing, and I need y'all to make sure that y'all connecting with us. Now you can bring Courtney back on. Courtney, listen, it'd have been something if I would have been doing all that bragging, because you and I didn't have that conversation prior.
Nope.
And you would have came on and said, well, we're looking to bring people in temporarily at 12 bucks an hour. No. Listen, y'all, the Mayor's Office of Employment Development believes in economic justice, and Baltimore has businesses that have traditionally said we're going to offer you a fair day's pay for a fair day's work. And Sherwin Williams has always been at the forefront of that. Do me one more thing. Talk about the opportunity that's there, because people who are retiring have been around. That's wrong. It's 1854.
Thanks, Marvin.
Talk to me about what kind of potential needs to be in a company for a person to stay around for 25, 30 years and retire. What type of growth opportunities and things of that nature that are there?
Yeah, so within our facility, there's always opportunities to learn new things, move to different departments. So we, as I mentioned, make the paint, fill the paint. We've got a separate group that's our maintenance team that's helping support everything. So there's different opportunities here. We've had employees who have worked at our facility, gone over to the stores division. So if you wanted to work in retail or expand your career in a different way, there's plenty of opportunities. I myself, just as an example, I've moved 4 times with the company and ended up here in Baltimore this last position. So, I mean, we want to focus on what your potential is, what you're interested in. We also have a tuition reimbursement program for full-time employees. So if we can figure out how to make it work, we want to gain skills. Somebody who's open to learning new things is going to go a long way.
Somebody's interested in gaining new skills is going to go a long way. Thank you for that correction, Katanya. Starting salary with Sherwin Williams, $18.54 per hour. Now, I don't care if you use my email or whoever email bcons@oedworks.com. Can we get some contact information up on there? Because y'all know how it go. We ain't going to run y'all to Sherwin Williams. You got to come through the Mayor's Office of Employment Development if you want these opportunities. These are relationships we have that literally once we submit your resume application and put you in the process, we go right to Courtney and say, Courtney, we sent so-and-so such and such, and we're able to manage you through the process so you know everything that you need to do. We can let you know where Sherwin Williams is on their end. So it's beneficial for you to come through the Mayor's Office of Employment Development to get that. But talk to us a little bit about your onboarding process. Is there a criminal background investigation? Is there a need for a driver's license? Is there a drug screening? What are some of the things that a person can expect when they enter into the process?
So once they're through the application, if they receive an offer, we do make our offers contingent based on drug screen and physical and a background check. We are a federal contractor, so that drives most of our policies for the company. We want to make sure we're in compliance and doing business ethically. So we have to follow those procedures there. Not to discourage anyone, especially on the background check process. Our LP department helps review everything to make sure that we're consistent as a company. And until we get to that point, I wouldn't say, don't apply. Let's not get to that point. So take your chance, put it in, and let's move forward from there. We're really more interested in, are you the right fit for the opening that we have? And then we can go from there.
Are you the right fit? We're more interested. We got some criteria, but we're more interested in, are you the right fit? This is the kind of banner employer that a person in my position loves to work with, because it's saying pretty much, if you really want to work and you're willing to do what it takes to be a contributing member to their team, they're willing to give you a shot. Courtney, what final thoughts and closing remarks would you have for people who are interested in coming to be a part? If you had a room full of candidates right now and you wanted to tell them why they're in the right place at the right time, what would you tell them?
Well, I'd probably grab one of our employees and have them talk to them and just show an example of, as I mentioned, we've got employees who are retiring right now. They're probably barely over 55 and they're ready to do it. As a full-time employee, we've got great benefits that try and hit overall. So if you can get past the temp position, or if you want to wait until we have other opportunities, take a look at our website, set up your alerts for future openings, but always keep us there and see what's going on. And we'd love to have you come see if this is a good fit for you.
That's awesome. And she's right over there in Highlands Ferry. So you guys are right on the yellow bus line?
Yes.
Transportation friendly. What excuses do we have, Baltimore? What excuses do we have? 18. Let's run the list now. I like to do a checklist. They want to work with you, and whatever circumstances you bring to the table don't particularly define you. Okay, that's always great. 18.54 an hour, local and public transportation accessible. A great work environment where people stay for a long time, and the people that are leaving aren't leaving because of attrition; they're leaving because of retirement. Not to mention, uh, um, um, the positions that are normally created here is created because of growth and expansion. That's a hot five right there. That's a hot 5 reasons why you need to make sure that you're contacting bcons at oadworks.com, sending him your resume, putting in the subject block that you heard on the Employee Baltimore show about Sherwin Williams and the great positions that they have that are paying you $18.54 an hour to start. And once you do an outstanding job, move you to $23 an hour. We talked about onboarding. We talked about everything that you could possibly need to know, and the reality that 2 people that met them through one of our events yesterday were extended offers today, and others were given the opportunity to tour the facility, and they may be getting offers soon. So you want to make sure that you're getting connected and getting plugged in as soon as possible. Courtney, I want to thank you for being with us today. I want to say, on behalf of the Mayor's Office of Employment Development, towards you representing Sherwin Williams, it's been an amazing partnership down through the years. You guys have always led the way in making sure that you're a great employment option for the residents of the city of Baltimore. That means a lot to us as an agency, as we're focused on making sure Baltimore City residents have a fair opportunity at employment opportunities that are going to allow them to be able to take care of their family and make their way easy for themselves. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're going to definitely stay in touch, and as needed, you're going to be at our events, and we're going to have you back on the show to continue to talk about the great work. And next time we'll have an employee on standby to be able to testify about what it's like to be an associate with Sherwin Williams. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
You're awesome, Courtney. It was great. It was great. You made this easy. All right, y'all. Y'all have heard it here. We 47 minutes into the hour, and we are done. You've heard it here. Sherwin Williams. Make sure that you're contacting bcons at oadworks.com via email. One of our other associates, Justin, has just jumped into the comments with his Bitly link, because he's also a part of the team that's doing the great work recruiting for Sherwin Williams. And when I was saying who to contact, he was in the comments saying, contact me. Excuse me, y'all. So make sure that you reach out to one of those 2 guys and connect with them to be a part of the great things that the Mayor's Office of Employment Development and Sherwin Williams are doing collectively. Don't forget, December 17th, if you're 18 to 24, Baltimore City resident, and you're interested in a career opportunity with the Mayor's the University of Maryland Medical Center or Midtown campus, you're going to see a flyer go up, and we're going to be doing some pre-registration stuff, because on the 17th we want to have as many people as we can in the building, because University of Maryland and the Midtown camp, the Medical Center and the Midtown campus, all have a lot of employment opportunities. So we're going to need as many people as we can in the building. Again, 18 to 24-year-old Baltimore City residents is the primary criteria for that particular recruitment. And we may have room for some folks who are over the age or 25 or older, but that'll be to come. But primarily, if 18 to 24, you're looking for an opportunity in the medical field, this includes a vast thing. I tell people all the time, University of Maryland is like a little city within itself. All of our hospitals are. And they employ across the spectrum. They hire everything. They got their own warehouse down there. So you might be a person that's looking for something and got experience in warehouse. They got, of course, the EVS, environmental services and housekeeping community down there. Then they got their food service folks. Then they have their administrative professionals. And we're going to have the actual recruiters for these positions available on site, so that when you come, you're not coming to just look in my face and talk to me. You're coming to talk to the person that's going to jumpstart you into the process. Mr. Dwayne Williams Jr. is the business service representative at the Westside Youth Opportunity Center. That phone number is 410-545-6953. We need you to start getting connected now So when the 17th roll around, you're already a registered member at the Yo Center, and everything else that needs to happen or would happen preliminarily has happened so that you can go right into the room and meet with those recruiters and begin your interviewing and onboarding process. All right. I need y'all to make sure that y'all are in the building on that day. That's going to be a big, major opportunity. All right. So I want to thank my producer today, Miss Katanya Lester, who comes on every Thursday. She's behind the scenes, but she's making all the magic happen, bringing us on, bringing us off. She does so many things, even off the screen. And I want y'all to be looking for some great changes as we're going to be working with some of our newer folks who got more broadcast experience than me to enhance what we're doing. What I do want you to know is this week we talked to some employers. Next week, we're going to have some of our own internal staff on to talk about more of the great things. Listen, y'all, November was full of hiring opportunities and events. We got a team of folks that's holding it down with virtual events on a regular basis. And then we got folks that are doing the in-person work. So whatever it is you prefer, as we're still processing through the COVID-19 pandemic, we have available and accessible opportunities for everybody that wants to work. Y'all listen, it's real. When you hear me say we have more work than we have people to put in it, that's very real. Help us fix that problem. We want to bring it to a balance. The way your need for employment is meeting all of the great relationships that we have here in the Mayor's Office of Employment Development. I want to thank everybody for joining us today. Please share this broadcast with as many people as you can, especially those that are looking for their next opportunity. Because if you're looking for an opportunity, the Mayor's Office of Employment Development is looking for you. With a focus on economic justice, seeing to it that every opportunity provides every family with a family sustainable wage. We are here in the Mayor's Office of Employment Development building a workforce development system that works. Thank you for joining us and have a wonderful week.